When it comes to computers, thermal paste is probably the hardest piece of them all. If you do not apply the right amount of thermal paste, the processor may heat up way too much and become damaged over time. Now, some cooling solutions actually already come with thermal paste already pre-applied, and it's perfectly fine to use that. However, do know that after time it will harden very quickly, much more than other thermal paste you can actually buy in tubes. To help show what methods work and do not work for actually applying thermal paste, I made a little jig out of acrylic and some screws and went through 21 different methods to actually apply thermal paste. You can see them on your screen already. Now, my rig for actually doing these tests actually has some flaws. I mounted the screws based off of the LGA 1336, as this is the L5520 processor sitting in here. And because the acrylic is much more bendable than metal, it bent a whole lot more than it should. Despite this problem in my rig, the LGA 1336 IHSs actually have a lot more curvature on the corners. This makes it more difficult to actually get the thermal paste into those corners, as you can see in almost every single attempt I did. Now, most of these methods actually work completely well. The only thing is, some of these do not at all. Despite the method for spreading the thermal paste with a credit card appearing to work, the thermal application is too thick. It will make your CPU a bit hotter than other methods such as the single and double line. Now, the tried and true method using just a pea-sized dot, it appears to work, but if you don't use enough, it is not going to work. You want to spread the CPU top with as much thermal paste as possible while keeping it as thin as possible. This helps spread the heat from the CPU to your cooling solution. Methods that do not work at all are none, as there's no thermal paste, which means you can have the least conductivity between the CPU and your cooling solution. One similar to T, where you have such an offset of thermal paste that it doesn't actually spread well enough, and in other parts it spreads too much. And ones like the 9-dot grid do not work at all because you have a lot of air pockets in the center between all those. Methods I do suggest are the line, double line, X, and plus. Those appear to spread out the best. They are also easier to do and don't take as much thermal paste because you're getting a much thinner and more perfect application. I know this is a much shorter video than normal, but thank you for listening. If you like my videos, you can go to my channel to find more. Subscribe to find out when more come out. Thank you, and goodbye.